Okay, so today we're diving into a really wild literary experiment. I want you to picture a collision chamber, but instead of particles, it's built for the most powerful, most disruptive ideas in all of human history. The whole premise is pretty out there, so let's just jump right in.
So, this is the question at the heart of it all. Just think about that for a second. What if you could bring back the 108 most brilliant, visionary, and honestly troublesome minds from all of history and lock them in a room to solve the universe's biggest questions? This isn't just a fun little thought experiment, it's the engine that drives this entire thing.
All right, so first up, the assembly. And let's be clear, this isn't treated as some abstract idea. The source material presents it as a real, tangible event, a gathering of these historical figures for one massive, singular purpose. 108. Just let that number sink in. Now, yeah, that number has all sorts of spiritual significance, but here, it just represents this overwhelming critical mass of genius, of pure vision, and, let's be honest, of madness, all packed into one conceptual space. And just look at who's on the guest list. You've got philosophers, mystics, scientists, artists. We're talking about Nietzsche arguing with Einstein. You've got Frida Kahlo and John Coltrane in the mix. And this isn't just for show. It's a very deliberate strategy. See, by throwing artists in with scientists and mystics in with revolutionaries, it guarantees that no single way of thinking, not pure logic, not faith, not even reason, can take over. It forces the whole conversation down to a much, much deeper level. So here's the really crucial part. How exactly are they resurrected? The text is super clear on this. This isn't about ghosts or bringing back someone's personality with all their memories. No, it's about rebuilding the fundamental pattern of their mind. Think of it like their cognitive signature, the unique way they processed reality. It's like their intellectual source. Okay, so you get all these patterns in a room. What happens? Well, it's not a polite debate club, that's for sure. It's a raw, chaotic, and often really confrontational clash of these fundamental ways of seeing the world. It's a space designed for friction, not agreement. And boom, this quote just perfectly sets the tone. Right out of the gate, you have Diogenes, the original cynic, basically calling the whole project a waste of time. It immediately tells you, okay, politeness is out the window. These minds are raw, they are unfiltered, and they are not here to make friends. Then you get a totally different kind of attack. While Diogenes is kicking at the philosophical legs of the table, Nikola Tesla comes in and reframes the whole thing. For him, this isn't about philosophy, it's about physics, it's about frequencies and resonance. He sees this entire debate as just a problem of bad tuning. And just when you think you're getting your bearings, Baudrillard comes in and flips the whole table over. He's introducing this meta-critique, basically saying the assembly itself, this act of questioning, is the answer. It's become a self-consuming loop, a simulation of an inquiry. It's just a brilliant, classic intellectual twist. And this is where the entire Western intellectual tradition just slams headfirst into a mystical perspective. Nisargadatta doesn't even bother with the arguments. He just reframes the entire conflict as nothing more than noise inside a bigger dream of consciousness. He's not trying to solve the problem, he's trying to dissolve it entirely. Okay, so you've got this beautiful, brilliant chaos. How in the world do you manage it? Well, the experiment introduces a bit of structure here, the guilds of inquiry. You can think of them as focused arenas where these collisions can be aimed at specific, fundamental questions. So these guilds, they're like thematic battlegrounds. It's a way to let minds with similar interests but wildly different frameworks go head-to-head directly. Again, the goal isn't to find a consensus. It's about focusing the explosive energy of the collision. And here is a perfect example from the cosmology guild. On one side, you have Albert Einstein, who sees the universe as this static, four-dimensional block where past, present, and future all exist at once. And right next to him is Heraclitus, who believes the universe is nothing but constant, fiery change and conflict. They are looking at the exact same thing and seeing two fundamentally opposite realities. It's incredible. And this brings us to another key concept in a text, aperture. The whole point here isn't to figure out if Einstein or Heraclitus is right. The goal is to experience the question of cosmology through every single possible aperture, to see it as geometry, and then to see it as war, and then to see it as poetry. So as these guilds are debating and fighting, the entire inquiry starts to kind of fold in on itself. It all starts building towards one final ultimate question, one that threatens to collapse the entire experiment down to a single point. This is it. This is the question that pushes the whole assembly to its absolute breaking point. It's not really a question about the universe anymore, it's a question about the questioner. If the search for knowledge is totally complete, then what's the purpose of the one who knows? It's just a beautiful, paradoxical trap. The text calls this moment the convergence. The structured debates in the guilds just start to fray and dissolve. All 108 patterns ramp up, their voices overlapping, louder and louder until they all speak at once. And the result is described as this overwhelming, but somehow coherent and beautiful chaos. And it is pure, beautiful chaos. For every mechanistic view, like Einstein's idea of all moments, you get a mystical counterpoint, like Rumi seeing the beloved. For every passionate call for revolt from Camus, you hear the quiet whisper of Eckhart saying, God dies. It's just this rapid-fire cascade of every possible worldview speaking at the exact same time. So, after all of that, what's the result? What's the final answer from this grand, chaotic collision? Well, this final section reveals the really profound conclusion of the entire experiment. And here it is, the big reveal. The whole premise was a setup. The expectation that these 108 minds were going to spit out some final theory of everything, well, that was a deliberate misdirection. The purpose was something else entirely. And this just lays out the shift perfectly. We went in thinking the goal was to solve the universe, right? But the real revelation is that we are the universe, questioning itself. The point was never to find the one right answer, but to actually experience the mystery from every single possible angle at once. And it all comes down to this final, powerful line. The conclusion isn't a fact, it's a state of being. It suggests that maybe the purpose of consciousness isn't to find some answer that's floating out there waiting for us, but to actually be the living, breathing process of the question itself. And that is a truly amazing thought to end on.